Hi, teacher friends. I'm sad for you today. I've been thinking about you all morning. I know this is like beyond anything we could all imagine, right? Like you're teaching in a pandemic. You haven't received a vaccine yet. So you're putting your own health at risk if you are teaching in a building with students. And then yesterday happened with the siege of the Capitol. I can't imagine the pressure that you're feeling today, having to face students who have questions. You may be, answering those questions and having that kind of deep dialogue over Zoom or some platform similar to it. It's you already perform daily miracles, and now this. I want you to acknowledge for yourself what an impossible situation you've been put in. And my hope with this message is that you will prioritize yourself. Now, I know I'm a teacher well-being coach. That is what I care about. This is exactly what I talk about all the time, is your well-being. And you know you don't put yourself first most of the time. This time is far beyond anything we have ever experienced. So I have a couple things that I want to say today, and I hope you take me seriously, and I hope you put yourself at the top. The first thing I want to say, and I usually don't talk about instruction because I'm all about your well-being, but I do want to say that in terms of instruction, I really hope that you are taking today and tomorrow and you are creating opportunities for students to talk to one another. Because if you think about it, if you were in a PD session with other colleagues today, you would be sitting around talking, yes, about the content, but you would want to talk about what happened yesterday at the Capitol. And our students feel the same way. So I hope that you are creating opportunities for them to talk, even if it's solving math equations in small groups or something like that. They need to be able to go a little bit off topic and talk about what's on their minds. They need that opportunity to get out what they're feeling and what they're thinking, and to start consolidating their thinking by discussing together what they witnessed and what they think about it. So enough about that. I'm worried about your well-being. I want you to acknowledge for yourself, acknowledge that you play a critical role. Your job is critical as a guide for young people. You need to be okay. So what I am encouraging in this very trying time is that you simplify as much as possible. You want to eliminate the number of, or decrease the number of decisions that you need to make on a daily basis. So if that means reaching out to someone for help and saying, hey, you're in charge of meals for the rest of the week, do it. If it's you decide one time, I'm going to make a big crock pot of soup and I'm going to eat that for lunch for the next week. Do that. I know it sounds silly, but all those little decisions about what am I going to eat or what are we going to have for dinner or whatever is going to weigh on you. It's going to add to the feelings of overwhelm. You need to automate and simplify as much as possible. Pick out your outfits for the next week, or your shirts, since if you're Zooming at home, you're probably just in leggings. I want to encourage you to create the most simplified life that you can right now. And secondly, I want you to prioritize yourself and your ability to ground yourself. So those are things like take a walk, journal, write all of your thoughts down, all of them, including how you want to present yourself to your students, for your family, for yourself. How do you want to be? How do you want to cope? And then what actions do you need to take to make that happen? Write it all out. This is not the time to choose unhealthy ways of coping. Watch out for coping with food, coping with alcohol, coping with shopping. Please choose healthy ways to cope with your stress. And the last piece of advice I'd like to give you right now is you've got to live by that saying of asking for forgiveness instead of permission. This is not the time to feel like you have to check every single box. You've already prioritized what you need to do with school, okay? And maybe that's not meeting your progress monitoring deadline for this week, okay? Give yourself that permission and ask for forgiveness later. It's been a week. We need to bring back the humanness to our role. Waiting until next week to do some progress monitoring is not going to hurt anybody. You need to prioritize your own well-being because you are the one who is showing up for students, not anyone else. You're showing up for them. You need to be okay. You need to prioritize yourself. This is so, so important. You put yourself last far too often. I am adamant that you take care of yourself. This is so, so important for yourself, for your health, and for your effectiveness as a teacher, and that huge amount of influence that you have on your students. Please, please be kind to yourself. Thanks for listening.